Hello students, I hope you are all set for the second part of the chapter. The chapter is titled Reach for the Top, and we read the stories of the women who really reached for the top. Now we are going to read about Maria Sharapova, a girl from Russia who had to move to US to learn tennis, and how well she performed and how good she fared in her field. The first sentence in the video sums up her entire life story. She says, "My goal is to be number one in the world." And that's what she became. Number one in what? Tennis. For those who do not know who Maria Sharapova is, let me tell you, she was a tennis player. Now she is retired, but she was number one at a very young age. She won Wimbledon in 2004 and she reigned for 8 straight years. She was the highest earning tennis player in the world. So Maria Sharapova rose to stardom at the age of 17. As young as 17, she played her international tournaments. She was born on April 19, 1987. This is her pic. She was born to Yuri and Yelena Sharapova in Siberia, Russia. So Siberia in Russia is not a very developed place, so she had to migrate with her father to USA to continue her tennis learning. Her father realized that she had great potential for tennis, so they moved to United States for further learning. But when they moved to United States, neither of them spoke English. They didn't know how to speak English and they had only $700 with them. Maria Sharapova says it was easy for her because she was a young girl and she picked up English very quickly. But her father obviously had trouble, and she had trouble because she was away from her mother. She played her first professional tournament in April 2001 at just 14. So at 14 she played her first professional tournament, and in 2004, after 3 years after she played her first professional tournament, she won the Wimbledon. Now you know there are Grand Slams in tennis. There are 4 Grand Slams in tennis. You have Australian Open, you have Roland Garros, you have Wimbledon, and you have American Open, which is US Open. So these are the 4 main cups to have won. Anyone who is a tennis player, their dream is to win these 4 cups, and she did that at the age of 17. Let's take a look at few more pictures of Maria Sharapova. This is her as a young girl, a little girl, and this is when she started learning tennis. This must have been the time when she migrated to United States, so young, and she was without her mother there. She obviously missed her tremendously. These are all pictures of Maria Sharapova. This is when she played professional tennis and she was at the peak of her game. This is her with all the cups that she won. This is her autobiography, Unstoppable, My Life So Far. This is the Wimbledon trophy. She won Wimbledon, defeating the Williams sister. Let's read the chapter now. You will notice that in this chapter, the author has a very different style of writing. She's used a lot of idioms. What are idioms? Words that convey a lot of meaning in limited number of words. Okay, such sentences are known as idioms. So you see, there was something disarming about Maria Sharapova. What is something disarming? Something that makes you comfortable. Disarming means when you are a little hesitant and all of a sudden that hesitation is gone. So the writer writes that there was something disarming, something that makes you easy with Maria Sharapova, but that was at odds with her ready smile and glamorous attire. The way she looked, one would be armed, but her behavior and her smile was such that you would be totally relaxed in front of her. And she lifted, and that something in her lifted her on Monday 22nd August 2005 to the world number 1 position in women's tennis. So that's something special in her smile, that something real in her made her or took her to the number 1 position in women's tennis. And all this in no time. So we already found that she started playing at the age of 14, which was in 2001, and then 2005 she was world number 1. She was poised beyond her years. Poised beyond her years means that for her age, she was very mature. She looked more mature and she was more composed for a girl of her age, because these, when children are in their teens, they are generally not very poised and composed. Teens are known for being hysterical and overreactive, but she is little different there. She, a Siberian born teenager, she was born in Siberia, and she took only 4 years as a professional to reach the pinnacle. Pinnacle is the highest point in tennis. She won women's single in Wimbledon in 2004. However, the rapid ascent in a fiercely competitive world began 9 years before, with a level of sacrifice few children would be prepared to endure. But her entire journey began 9 years before, from the time this article was written. That means this article was written 2005, and 9 years before the journey began. So how did that journey begin? With her making a lot of sacrifices, because tennis is highly competitive. There are any game, if you want to reach the top, be it football, be it cricket, be it tennis, you have to be really focused. So to get that focus, it wasn't very easy, because on her 10th birthday itself, she was packed off to United States. She was sent to United States. That trip to Florida with her father Yuri launched her on the path to success and stardom. But it required a heart-wrenching 2-year separation. So she had to stay away from her mother Yelena because of visa restrictions. Her mother could not come and join her in United States. She learned a very important lesson in life at 9 years age, that tennis excellence would come at a price. So what is the first price she paid? She paid the price of being away from her mother for 2 years. I used to be so lonely, Maria Sharapova says. I missed my mother terribly. My father was working because he had to earn the money to keep her tennis training going. So father was busy earning for her. Mother could not come because of visa restrictions. So she must have been very lonely. And she was a Russian. So obviously she didn't have many friends or family around. Because I was so young, I used to go to bed at 8 p.m. So since she didn't have any other friends, she would sleep on time. The other tennis pupils would come in at 11 p.m. and wake me up and order me to tidy up the room and clean it. So she was bullied. She used to be woken up again at 11 p.m. and the seniors would tell her to tidy up the room and clean it. But she was, as we read, way mature than the children of her age. Instead of letting that depress me, I became more quietly determined and mentally tough. So she said, I didn't get depressed because of that. I became more determined and more tough, and I learned how to take care of myself. And I never quit. Even though I faced challenges, but I never quit. She had the hunger for excellence. She wanted to be the one at the top of the world. So she never let anything bother herself. I would have put up with much more humiliation and insults than that to steadfastly pursue my dream. She says, whatever they bothered, whatever the seniors bothered me, or the place bothered me, or staying away from my mother bothered me, I would have faced more than that. But I would have pursued my dream. That kind of commitment, that is what you need in your life to become number one in whatever you want. So that kind of commitment has to be in us. The toughness runs through Maria even today. It was the key to her bagging the women's singles crown at Wimbledon in 2004 and her meteoric rise to the world number one spot the following year. What is meteoric rise? Absolutely sudden, speedy. While her journey from the frozen plains of Serbia to the summit of women's tennis has touched the hearts of tennis fans, for the youngster herself there appears to be no room for sentiment. Many people praise her, many people appreciate her, but she does not relax at that. She has no room for sentiment means that even though people praise her, she's still not sentimental about winning and becoming number one. The straight looks and the answers she gives when asked about her ambition make it amply clear that she considers the sacrifices were worth it. She says, I'm very competitive. I work very hard and it's my job, and that's my mantra for success. So she says, my mantra for success is that I'm very competitive and I work very hard. So just being competitive does not help you. You also have to work very hard to defeat your other competition, right? Though Maria Sharapova speaks with a pronounced American accent. She has an American accent obviously because she came to America at as young as 10 and she has been living there since, so she has an American accent, but she proudly parades her Russian nationality. She proudly says that I am Russian. She clears all doubt. She says, I am Russian. It's true that US is a big part of my life. Had US not been there, she wouldn't have been so good with tennis because US is the place where she learned her game, right? But she has a Russian citizenship and she says, my blood is totally Russian. I will play the Olympics for Russia if they want me. So she says, I am Russian through and through. I may have learned my tennis in America, but I am Russian all the same. Like any number of teenage sensations, Maria Sharapova lists fashion, singing, and dancing as her hobbies. So, even though so far the author was trying to tell us that how different she is from the people of her age, yet she is similar to them also. How? Because just like other teenagers, she loves fashion, singing, and dancing. She loves reading Arthur Conan Doyle. Who is Arthur Conan Doyle? He is the writer of Sherlock Holmes. All Sherlock Holmes novels have been written by him. So she says, I love reading his novels. Her fondness for sophisticated evening gowns appears at odds with her love of pancakes with chocolate spread and fizzy orange drinks. So she may be very sophisticated, she may be very elite, but she still loves the same old things that every teenager loves, like pancakes with chocolate and fizzy orange drinks. Maria Sharapova cannot be pigeonholed or categorized. What is pigeonholed? When you put someone in one specific category or just put a limit around them that this is what they are. She cannot be put into that limit because her talent and her desire for success and her readiness to sacrifice. So she has talent. She has a desire to succeed and she is also ready to sacrifice so many things in her life to achieve that goal will keep her on the top of the world. Few would grudge her for the riches she is now reaping. That is what she has to say about her monetary gains from tennis. She says, of course, money is a motivation. The money that I earn from tennis is a motivation. But most important thing is to become number one in the world, and that's the dream that kept me going. So she says, it's not just money. I'm not playing tennis for money. I'm playing tennis for being world number one because that was my aim and that is the goal I'm working for and that is what is going to keep me going. I'm also sending you 2 biographical videos of both the ladies, Maria Sharapova and Santosh Yadav. You will enjoy the videos and I'm sure you'll learn a lot from that as well. I hope you understood the chapter well. We will discuss all the idioms in detail in the group. Thank you, children.